Yo, what's good? Everyday superpower, where you learn about body language, relationships, human dynamics, psychology, blah 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 blah. Two links in the description of the video. One takes you through to the catalogue of body language, where you'll learn the A to B of learning how to read people. It's a YouTube playlist. Second to that is the Patreon, which is where you'll learn the real game. Now, today we're going to talk about a comment that was made to me. And before we go into that comment, I'm going to re-elaborate a point I have brought up numerous times. And it only re-emphasizes its importance through each and every occurrence it plays in my life. It's okay reading books, it's okay talking to men, it's alright listening to men about what a woman wants, what a woman likes, so on and so forth. And it's good to get that perspective. It's very important. And it's good to communicate and hear that. But you have to pay attention that you are listening to the middleman and not necessarily the source. What you want to do is speak to women about their interests. Observe women on their interests and how they relate and react and engage with other people, and what they speak on when it comes to the umbrella of women aside their friends and what they're into and what their friends go through. You'll probably find more honesty within them speaking about their friends' issues, their girlfriends' issues, their girlfriend's relationship issues, than you will do by, asking directly to them their opinion on one particular thing, because most of the time, they'll be muddled up about what they want anyway. The human and the animal is in complete disconnect, and unless you're severely conscious and comfortable within that and understanding of that, which the majority of people are, you're going to end up getting some zany reactions. But when you externalize that and place that responsibility upon one of their friends, what they're going through, you're going to see a very honest assessment and observation that breaks down the psyche and behavior and sort of dating mannerism of a woman's perspective in the field. And I say that to say this: thank you for hanging on this long. I was on a date. It went very successful. This was within the past few days, yeah. I chose you, I get told. I chose you out of the other men on a dating profile app, right, on a dating app, because most of the men, if not all of the men, jumped into speaking sexual, but you held a conversation. You seemed interested, right? I don't know how many men are seriously going out and doing this. I did this when I was younger, so hopefully it's something the majority of people actually grow out of. Overt sexual sort of come-ons and so forth, it's not going to work like that. It's not going to work like that. You're communicating to them as if they have the same perspective as you. They're women. They don't communicate like men. You need to engage with them on a different level. These men went forward in this dire need of sexual action and put it first and foremost, right? Which is admirable to an extent. It's a bit crass, but it's admirable purely as they put their cards out on the table. All right, they were honest. But they went fully forward with this sexual front. And it was such a bold, extra force. They got shut off by the conscious. So when we speak on hypnotism, when we speak of advertisement and effective communication, we take the back door, we take the indirect. We persuade, we insinuate, as opposed to meeting them head on at the gates. Because the gates are shut. The gates are shut. We need to take the side door, the ones that's been left open at the side. That's where you get in. So we engage in honest conversation as to where we genuinely find interest within one another. Yeah? If you find something interesting with a girl, okay, something that you can actually speak honestly and wholeheartedly about, take that route. Yeah? Because isn't it a weird paradox how those whom speak sexual don't get it, but those whom ignore it and move to reducing that threat level and establishing some degree of familiarity, they get the action. Isn't it bizarre? But that's the real way it goes. So you need to communicate. Speaking of such, the hinge is going mad. But we won't go there, alright, people. We won't go there. So, we want to be talking, not necessarily as a friendship thing, but you have to understand as well, we're talking dating apps in particular. And if we're on a dating app, and we've matched or we've, sent a message or 1 degree or whatever, we've shown sexual interest by default. That's why we're on that app. We're not on that app to make friends and put each other in the friend zone. That's not the case, right? So that engagement isn't necessarily like you being friendly with a work colleague you find attractive. You are engaging and becoming familiar and fast tracking your way to a deeper, more sensual communication in person by just opening up and engaging with a different perspective and a different technique as to what the majority of other men are doing. Because I don't know why any men are going in there in this day and age and just being heavily sexual. It's just not going to work. It's going to be triggering and it's going to come across as desperate, yeah? Even to my extent, when these girls are coming up and they'll say certain things and there's a degree of desperation, I can completely see through the perspective of the woman at that point when the man is pursuing on that level. You think, well, I think all sorts of things. One of the things is, are you trying to set me up? Alright, I think that when it comes to the women, are you trying to set me up? Why are you coming across so overt? You got me thinking if there's something going on here. Like, are you setting me up to get robbed or something like that? Who are you? And there's just sort of the like, what's wrong with you to be this desperate? And I'm going to do a separate video on that desperation and how you are perceived through your actions of desperation, and you might not necessarily consider it as bad as you do, but it raises questions for somebody who is receiving a spectrum of different approaches from different people, and you apply your approach in a particular sort of needy way. So, with that being said, I'm just going to leave that one there, alright? It was a brief conversation, real conversation. I got successful. I didn't ask no questions. We just communicate freely. She was more than happy to engage with me about her dating experience or online dating experience. And when she made a comment in regards to the generalization of men being just overtly sexual via text on these apps, I sort of had to make a double take and say, what, really, everyone? And she went, yeah, more or less, everyone. But you seemed, and I say seemed, right? It's not the case. I was honest and I was genuinely interested in this person, and they opened their door up and they said, feel free to come on in. I trust you. I'm familiar with you. It makes sense for us to communicate on a deeper level because you've already established the baseline, the foundation. You've planted the roots, the seeds for a blooming, fruitful relationship from here on in. Come on in. That's some game. That's real life, yeah? That's real life. I'm not spreading no crap I've heard from a book a man's tried to sell you to make money. Not a course a man's tried to sell you to make money. This is my own personal experience, what I've heard from women, okay, who have given me what I wanted. I've given them what they've wanted in return. And life goes on, right? As always, like and subscribe. I'm signing out. Peace.